MCU fans, Star Wars fans, and all-in-all entertainment fans, welcome back to another edition of This Week in News here at Murphy's Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyler Moulton, and we've got some awesome new updates, including Deadpool 3's first teased plot details.
Well, like Scoutmaster Kevin used to say, there's a first time for everything, son.
And of course, much more. So let's jump right into this. Taking a look over in the MCU, we learn that Thor Love and Thunder's runtime will clock in just a little shorter than Thor Ragnarok at 1 hour and 59 minutes. And along with this came some great shots from the actual film, and this is in respect to Total Film exclusives, and it almost looks like Mantis will be sporting a little green hue in her hair this time around. Also, a new promo recently revealed a key location from the actual Thor comics. Only 6 seconds into this new spot, we see what looks to be Thor's goat-drawn ship exiting this floating building in the clouds. Fans of the Aaron comics will remember this as the Omnipotence City, which was a location that was crucial during Thor's quest to access information on Gorr's murderous spree against the gods. So it'll be interesting to see if we are introduced here to the Lord Librarian in this neutral landing spot that was specifically made for the gods. Now, in a Taika Waititi film, of course, you're gonna get some goofy comedy that just tends to pop up. And according to Christian Bale, that almost included mixing Kate Bush dance sequences with Gorr the God Butcher. Wait, what? So Christian Bale said, Taika Waititi and I wanted to do a whole dance, which we didn't get to do. We had all this sort of Kate Bush stuff that we worked at, but I think he just realized he was never going to be allowed to put that in the final film. I would say that the most common thing I was staring at was the Aphex Twin video of Come to Daddy, but I don't even know if that will be in the final film. Now, all goofiness aside, we gotta check out this Love and Thunder concept art intercepted in a quick little video that may tease a Namor connection. A brief video shot by Walt Disney's marketing president, Asad Ayaz, intended to show off these sweet little costumes here, but in the background you can also see some interesting concept art. There's a Moon Knight reference, as you can clearly see Khonshu's iconic staff and what looks like his traditional comic design. That's not all, as you are also looking at dragons like the ones we saw in Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, as well as what may be a celestial from Eternals briefly checking in. Then there's a god that is being showcased on some kind of podium who has blue skin and a very interesting headdress or crown. Now, it's only a guess, but the blue skin is quite reminiscing of many Atlanteans in the comics, such as Atuma. Also this week, previous Blade actor Wesley Snipes spoke in detail this week, reminiscing his time as the famous Daywalker. And apparently Snipes himself wrote scripts for Blade that were never used. Snipes explains, "We actually wrote 2 scripts. We have 2 versions of a story that would have fit well into the Blade world. But since we didn't go that route and we didn't have the knock on the door again, we tweaked them and now we use them for something else. So I got 2 Blade killers." It would be really interesting to see if Snipes does have any input on Marsala Ali's upcoming depiction of Blade. And who knows, we could even get a nice little nod in homage to the previous Blade films. Now, as I quickly name-dropped earlier in this video, Deadpool 3 writer Rhett Reese explained the first teased plot details for Ryan Reynolds' MCU journey. He said, "It's a wonderful opportunity for fish out of water. Deadpool is a lunatic at the center of a movie. To drop a lunatic into a very sane world, it's straight butter. And it's going to be really fun." But to really put the cherry on top of all of this MCU news this week, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirmed that they are heading out to the San Diego Comic-Con this year to talk about future movie and TV plans that are next. Which, this is a very interesting move, considering that we have D23 and Disney Plus Day on the horizon, so they must have some new stuff that they can't wait to reveal at the SDCC as well. Switching over to Star Wars, there wasn't too much that happened, but we have to talk about showing up in the Obi-Wan series. Oh yeah, and spoiler warning ahead, I'll have to bleep that one out. Qui-Gon showed up in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and it was still the man, the myth, the legend, Liam Neeson. And here's what he had to say about his experience in returning as Qui-Gon. "I certainly didn't want anyone else playing Qui-Gon Jinn, and I wanted to show my respect for George Lucas and the mythical world that he created. Plus, Ewan McGregor is a pal. and I loved working with him during The Phantom Menace 25 years ago. Checking out popular updates, if you remember last week, we discussed briefly about the next Game of Thrones project revolving around Kit Harington's Jon Snow. Well, luckily for us, Emilia Clarke has spoke up about what she learned after talking to Harington himself. She said, "He has told me about it, and I know it exists. It's happening. It's been created by Kit as far as I can understand. So he's in it from the ground up. So what you'll be watching, hopefully, if it happens, is certified by Kit Harington." Universal is also making a Green Hornet and Kato film coming up next, and they have already selected a director in Lee Wannell. The remastered version of Titanic is set to hit theaters on Valentine's Day in 2023, so you can schedule a movie date for next year, but if you're looking to keep the day lighthearted, I highly recommend leaving about midway through. I don't know, something about an iceberg and a sinking ship. And that is the news for this week. Now, don't forget to comment in the comment section below what your favorite piece of news was, what you're most excited for that's coming next. And don't forget to smash that like, subscribe, and notification bell. I want to thank you for watching this video, and as always, we will see you next week.